It's a beautiful morning. Welcome to Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television. My name is Miracle Odunayo.
And yes, top of the bottom to you. You're welcome once again to Daybreak Africa from our studio in Ondo State, which is the sunshine state of the nation. It's a beautiful morning. My name still remains Ikhonede Joshua Adeji.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Did you sleep well?
I slept, and before sleeping, I was just checking through. I was following up with one issue that happened yesterday. See, Nigeria is becoming a comedy central.
Exactly,
when
very
we end up on the
funny.
plane. I don't know why content creators these days are just giving us more content to laugh about.
That's good.
And I was seeing VDM and Jolloff's fight. I'm like,
wow.
This Yoruba say gbadun.
And there's no Yoruba we abuse you, and you that you abuse, you might start laughing like, oh God.
Like, honestly, I was seeing a muscled man, begin to. I was like, what's this? Why are you guys this way? And honestly, I just felt it's not supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
Like,
you have a point.
It gets to a point where you become a public figure. There are some things you don't do in the open.
Uncle, you think that one apply to all our content creators
Well.
and even people we are looking up to? The top citizen of the country they are having issues.
No. There was a time in Nigeria where even in the Senate House, the Senate House today is school.
You can imagine
Pre-2015.
Where they are carrying
Pre-2015.
We know his story now.
The current chief of staff, I saw him use one angle to jump from the fence.
So what are we now saying? People we are looking up to, you see what they are doing.
Now that class are already understanding that I'm a public figure. I shouldn't be caught doing things that are nonsensical.
But when it happens like this, you just have to take it like that.
In this country, I've seen Senate presidents talking about Senate presidents or senators slap girls in a pawn shop. You went to go and buy.
I don't know why you are bringing this kind of story this early morning.
That same senator claims he's a Christian, and you are slapping. I was angry that they did not elect a Christian as this country. So seeing VDM do that, I felt like, okay, VDM and Mr. Jollof, like, guys, is this for content? Is this for? And honestly, I think every company that is involved with aviation should begin to have strict policies.
Exactly.
This year alone, what we have seen on the airplane, I don't know whether you have now begun to use the airplane for content or something.
I don't understand. Or should we call it you trying to make a public, how will I put it now? Is it advertisement? I don't know, because the problem is becoming very, very apparent. Like this one airline, this one.
I don't know. Last week we are just coming from one content. This week we are getting the other contents.
Well, it makes the whole country more interesting and just like comic relief.
Maybe that's why we're looking at the state of the nation today. Like in this whole comic issues. Let's see what is actually happening within the nation, especially in the political aspects of this nation of this week. Yes, we saw the fact that according to statistics, Nigeria is back on 16% of inflation. But then aside from that, other things also occurred this week which we will look at. Before we get there, let's take the reports. After the reports, we come back on Daybreak Africa. We'll continue on our discussion, so please stay with us. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back to the show. If you're joining us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go straight into our discussion for today. Today we'll be looking at the state of the nation, and we'll be taking an analysis of some of the trending stories within the nation of Nigeria at this particular time. And yes, we won't be the only ones discussing on this. We have with us a guest in the studio in the person who happens to be a friend of the house and a political analyst, to be very candid, in the person of Gbenga, Ajisafe. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here once again.
Good to have you. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And one of the things we'll be looking at this morning is, everybody looked at it from what's transpired during the weekend, talking about the People's Democratic Party and their convention. And we saw the fact that they have a new party chairman in the person of the PDP. I remember last week I was still complaining when we were having a discussion exactly by this time last week that they really performed woefully at the Anambra elections. PDP in the Anambra elections just pulled 1,400 votes. But then, looking at it at this particular time, we are saying that Turaki is now the new elected president, Kabiru Turaki, the newly elected chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says the new leadership will restore internal discipline and bring the party back to its members. Turaki was elected on Saturday at the party's national convention in Ibadan, the Oyo State's capital, and the exercise held at the Adamashingba Stadium saw the former Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs clinch 1,516 votes in his acceptance remark. Turaki said he is fully aware of the weight of the new assignment placed on the new National Working Committee. He said the mandate handed to the team must be taken directly to Nigerians. Turaki said the new executive would soon unveil its guiding principles and operational framework. We also saw that in this particular meeting, some of the members actually were also banned from the PDP. And most notably Nyesom Wike and
Ayo Fayoshi,
who particularly was having his birthday when this whole thing was happening. What was your take on this new development with the People's Democratic Party?
I think you know, we've been saying it that PDP, as it stands now, is a house that have been divided by himself, and the house that have been divided, we always have problems, and you know, crisis upon crisis upon crisis about factions, leaders, interests, all these things that is killing the parties. And that's why when you come up with the result about Anambra elections, people are not even having confidence in PDP anymore because of their internal crisis, and they don't have it to kind of follow a party that is every day, and then is whether you are in court or you are in one crisis or the other. So these are issues that the party is having for now, and there is no how it's going to go down easily. It's just boiling down to the 2027 elections, and this is what is trending in terms of crisis in other parties also, not only the PDP, but we are just talking about PDP, even in Labour parties, you know, NNPP, all these parties are having issues like that. So we hope that they can resolve these issues before the general election come up 2027.
All right, so speaking about the statement of the new chairman, he mentioned all other things that he would like to work on as in his new tenure, like giving listening here to people and also returning power to the people. And talking about impunity, he said that there will be no more impunity in the People Democratic Party. So from your own perspective, do you feel like this has always been a problem over the years?
Yes, impunity is not supposed to be part of party structures or party egos or party leaders, because when you say impunity, it shows that you are above the constitution of the parties, and that kill the morals of every blessed members of the party. It shows that some set of people are more powerful or more influential the party than the others, and the whole thing about party is about collective efforts. No individual is ordinary in party level, because you only have one vote. I have only one vote. So if your vote is not superseding my own vote, that shows that I'm important to you. So impunity should not come in this place. You should know how to galvanize and try to canvass people to your parties and see the reason why you want to lead them. If you're a leader there, you are not just a leader for yourself, you're a leader who want to lead people to a particular place. And that place should be a place that they want to see in your characters, in your attitude, that you have that charisma of leading them to these major places that they are wishing to be. As a party, people see you as somebody that want to take us from a particular destination we are to another journey that we felt we ought to have been. So the party, as it stands now, have a lot of people who are claiming to be the sponsors, the egos have been there, that I'm the one that is sponsoring the party for long. You know, I'm the one that have hijacked the party structures, and all these things is killing the party for now. And people are not happy with it. The members of the party they're not happy, and you can see them in troops decamping to other parties to show that they are not in line with the leaders of the party anymore. They felt tired because they're showing ego is too much. People shows we are the owners of the parties and nobody is the owner of any party. We come together collectively to form a party. There's nobody that can singularly claim to have owned a party.
Yeah.
It's not done anywhere anymore.
So the other time you mentioned the fact of the campaign, which has been the major problem that the People Democratic Party has been, experiencing over the time. So the question now is, do you feel like, or do you have anything that you feel like the new chairman should work upon, like a new reform or a reform that he should work with, so that, especially for the coming election, something that he can work with to make that party better? Looking at the fact that a lot of people, important personnel, have come from the party to another party. So what reform can they work on to make it better?
I think the first thing the chairman should do is to go back to the BOT, sit down with the NEC, and have a meeting with them. And let it be known that we are genuine for what we intend doing. What is it that they want to achieve? They are just dragging power because they want to belong, they want to have the power, or they want to help the people who are the masses, the general views of the people who believe in them, that they can prove a surprise. And at least you can see that so many governors in PDP are decamping to the opposition party now, and that shows that the governors and the people of that state don't have confidence in that party anymore, and that's why they are decamping. And if you want to win them back, you have to sit down with the BOT, the NEC, and probably meet some governors that are still, that are not decamp. We have the Nasarawa state governor want to decamp now recently. So all these people, you can still meet them and talk to them. That
Convince them.
You can. This is our party. This is our home. Let's come together and build it together. And for me, they believe they can do that. I don't think with that we start a kind of reform. Reconciliation, I want to believe you can reconcile other members, the past leaders, the past governors, the ex-governors, all those governors or ministers. We have a lot of people that have used that platform to excel, to make name. Even all the former chairmans, all the former national chairmen will be called upon to come together and see how they can salvage this menace they find themselves.
But you talked about the governors and many of them who have left the party. I want to bring back some things that transpired on Saturday, because it was as if it was funny. We saw, in fact, at first, if we look at the issues with PDP, we remember that 2022, preceding 2023, almost every political party in Nigeria already had an agreement that the power was going back to the south. Even in some wiki, who happens to be the bone of contention and the biggest warlord that the PDP is actually experiencing right now, he was also talking about the fact that it was the south, and he was already prepping himself
to become the candidate
for the PDP. Then they handed over the party chairmanship to a northerner, Ayu, from the North Central. And at the point of them having a primary, we were seeing people like Tambuwal, Atiku playing a sharp card, and then they won the whole party primaries over Some Wiki, who understandably told them that, prides in the fact that when the PDP was crashing way back 2019, way back after 2015, 2019, which was very evident. Some Wiki was more like the biggest sponsor out of the PDP, due to the fact that he still had state might. He was the governor of a state that was one of the wealthiest states in the south as at that particular time. And then they played that card, and they saw a party chairman who was from the north tell someone like Tambuwal, which are the things that annoyed someone like Some Wiki, that you saved the day. Not, and all those kind of things. And then this gave credence. Now we saw them have what they call a G5 governor, where it had to do with Sheyi Makinde, Some Wiki, Governor Autumn, of a lot of them, 5 like that. They were the warriors of PDP all through that period till the APC won the election. Now we are seeing issues transpiring even within the G5. We saw a governor of the G5 in the person of Sheyi Makinde being the host of the convention. Some Wiki on the other side was at a party at that particular time. In fact, powerful figures like Bukola Saraki, who are top guys in the PDP, were at the party of Ayo Fayose, who is also a stalwart when we talk about the PDP. And now, we are talking about the fact that some of them were banned. And some of these governors that still remains in the party already distanced themselves from the banning. Someone like Caleb Muftwang of Plateau State. And we are saying Taraba State governor. As at yesterday, Monday, already the House of Assembly in Taraba State has defected to the APC. Taraba State governor too is about to defect. Adamawa State governor too, everybody knows is there, and all that. Do you think that with this that is happening, Kabiru Turaki can salvage through how to resolve issues that even comes from ethnical lines or what they call federal character arrangements?
Yes, he can. He can. I think that is the causes of the problem. That is the genesis of this crisis they have been facing. Ethnic-wise, Nigeria is diversity in so many things, and ethnic is part of our diversification line. Where we have a Northerners being the party chairman, and we want to have a candidate which is from the North also being the party candidate, and that will not work. And that's why the likes of Wiki and the G5 say no, cannot take that. That ordinarily, after the tenure of Buhari, which is from the North, they want to believe that the power should, whether we like it or not, the power should rotate back to the South.
Southwest.
It can be South-South, it can be Southeast, it can be South, just Southern people. That is their target, and they are looking at themselves. Okay, after all, we have not finished our 8 years tenure, so let this South take it. So that is their target, that is their promises, and that is their good. Among all these people, Wike is come out first because of what he's been doing for the party. He have been sponsoring, he have been taking care of the party when others have left. And you have to give in to the ministers. He have been spending his time and his money and energy to make sure the party run. And now come Tambuwa and Atiku to take that glory from him. And he told them emphatically that you cannot take the chairman and take the party ticket. It's either you leave the chairman for the South or you take
the presidential ticket.
And that is the advice he told Atiku and the likes that time, and they did not take it, and that is the genesis of the causes of this crisis we have seen today in PDP. But be that as it may, I want to believe that the current chairman could salvage the day, could try to work things out, meet these people, the other side of the factions, tell them what is it that they want, how do you think you can shift their interest, bring their interest into the tables, and see how we can resolve this crisis. The better it is, the better for them all. Let's see how we can manage them. I think that is the first assignment. Call this other passion, call the weekends, call on them. What is it that you want? What is it that you want? There's a particular interest you are looking for. You want to become the president of Nigeria? Yes. The Southerners are taking it now, so it cannot be your own turn now. You have to wait till another 8 years, or I don't know, maybe 12 years now. After who knows? After so you have to wait, because after this the power must change to the north. That is ethnic line. We cannot. If we want Nigeria to be in a country that we say we want to be united, we must just oppose our interests. We must see reason why others must share from our ideas. It doesn't mean that your own ideas should supersede others. And we should not say that, okay, we are only the one that can do it better. So we should give others region, other ethnic group chance to come and test their abilities and capacity to see how we can forge ahead. Without that, we cannot say we are one. And these are things that the leaders of the PDP should look into, the new leaders should look into.
So you feel, sorry to cut you here, so you feel it shouldn't have banned or Nyesom Wike and its faction immediately after Easter, because they did that at the convention.
Yes, they did that, but there are still rooms. That's why I say you have to call the BOT, you have to call the NEC and see how you can bring all these people back again. It is left for the BOTs and the NEC to now sit down and say, okay, whether we ratify those things or not, we can still call them back, so that we know we just play the card as if nothing had happened in the beginning.
Before.
So that is what is they are just doing it that so that they can take the lead chance. I think that's why they push them out in the first place. So they can say, okay, we own the party now.
All right, so do you feel like, or can PDP ever gain 100% unity before the coming election?
That is, I cannot answer that. It is left for the PDP national leaders and the NEC and the BOT to see how they can manage their parties, how well meaningful they can manage their party. If they can do that, Nigeria will be happy, because Nigeria wants a stronger and formidable opposition party, you know, and that is what Nigeria want. They just want a chance. You know, when you have opposition, what people derive is that you have people who contested in some particular local government, in some particular state, and win senators, rep, assembly members, and even governors. Even though you cannot win the president, you always have something to taste in the national so that is why the opposition we always come up. Before now we have many parties that at least, like the one in Anambra now is ABGA. It's not from a major party now, but they have been there for years and they have been making it, and that shows that oppositions, you may not win the central, but at least you can win your state or region and enjoy what you can express your idea through that platform.
Let's quickly take this story in the actual sense, which is also a leading story to this, because I think it's going to be a very tough work for our new chairman of the People's Democratic Party, because this is going to be very serious. Because a faction of the People's Democratic Party, as at yesterday, led by Abdurrahman Mohammed, has summoned an emergency meeting of its National Executive Committee, the NEC, and Board of Trustees BOT, which is supposed to be today by 11 a.m. The meeting will take place at the PDP National Secretariat in Wadata Plaza in Abuja. Now, here is one of the things that scares me. You did your convention in Ibadan and got your new chairman, but the faction you are expelling are doing their own meeting at your national secretariat in Abuja, which is funny. And a notice signed by Samuel Ayawu, an ally of Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, said the BOT is expected to convene at 11 a.m. The next session has been fixed for 2 p.m. at the same venue. The party said attendance is compulsory because crucial matters will be considered. The invitation marks the 103rd emergency NEC meeting of the PDP. Lawyer media aide to Wike shared a notice on his X page yesterday. Now, one of the things that is very particular is that the faction at the convention expelled Wike, Ayawu, and Ayo Fayose, former governor of Ekiti. Others removed from the party include Umar Baturi, powerful politicians, Kamaldeen Ajibade, Mao Ohabua, Uwachuku, George Turner, Dan Obi, Abdurrahman, Austin Nwachukwu, and Abraham Ama. Present at the convention were Bala Mohammed, governor of Bauchi, Amadou Fintiri, governor of Adamawa, Dauda Lawal, governor of Zamfara, Caleb Muftuang, governor of Plateau, and Sheyi Makinde, governor of Oyo. Ladi Adebutu, Ogun State governorship candidate of the PDP in 2023. Natasha Akpoti Uduagban, senator representing Kogi Central. Baban Gida Aliyu, former governor of Niger State, and Kabiru Turaki, a former minister and consensus candidate for national chairman, were also in attendance. Now, here is the thing. Muftuang and Fintiri, who were at the venue, are distant themselves from the expulsion of the FCT minister. Now, let's look at this from this particular perspective. Now, a meeting will be held today at Wadata Plaza by the expelled members.
So before you answer that question, I would like us to go for Go Start and learn one or two things. So stay with us, we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back from Go Start. If you just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa. I hope you learned one or two things from Go Start, and then I hope you are going to do something with what you've learned from Go Start. Before we went on a short break, we've been looking at the state of the nation, and we just touched the story of the PDP factions that actually having their meeting today by 11 a.m. at the Wadata Plaza. And like I said, they were actually removed from the party, but they are holding a meeting at the Wadata Plaza.
That is the crisis. That is the factions, and they are the one that is holding the headquarters of the meeting, which is the plaza we are talking about. And that shows that there is no how this meeting will go down today, that they will be the first people to expel others also. They will expel and condemn the convention, that the convention is not part of them, and expel all this new set of leaders that we are talking about, the chairman and all that. So, and that's why they have to come together and see which interests are we really fighting for. Are we fighting for our own interests, or we are fighting for the interest of the nation? If truly PDP see the reason why they have to forge in this party, they have to come together as a family and work together. There's no point fighting each other on top. What is their gain if they leave and all the party leaders or the chairmans and the governors left the party? What will be their gains? So that is the what they should be watching. I want to believe that today meetings, we are not surprised if they come out and tell us that they have expelled all these members that they have expelled them in the first place. So don't be surprised that is what will the next meeting will be hold on.
You know, one of the things that really thrilled me about this whole news story was the fact that I saw Larry Olayinka's statement where he said they are already doing Dirty December in November. And though the statement sometimes resonates with many Nigerians saying Wike and this aide tend to be very brutal speakers and all those kind of things, because we know that multiple times the court did not permit them to hold it in Abuja. That was why they had to take the route of Oyo State to actually do the whole thing. Then the faction that have been expelled are meeting now. Don't you think this could cause a breakout of more politicians from the PDP?
Exactly.
Because
of course,
one of the things is INEC permits that. Even the law permits that once your party is already in crisis, you can
people leave, and that will give a lot of opportunity for the governors who intend leaving before now. So they will leave because they felt there's no how you contest under a party that is divided themselves. The party have not won elections since far back. Or no election that they have won. No, none. They have not won anything apart from the one they win at the general election. So that shows that the party is not, the leaders of the party is not thinking in that direction how to win an election, and it's affecting the others who want to spend their money, their ended money into this politics. So they don't want to waste their money. They won't come to that party. They will look for other alternative, other parties to go into, and that's why they have to work with other members to see how they can salvage and help the party not to die automatically.
So are you saying that we should expect a better result after this meeting?
This meeting will not give us tangible. The meeting will just bring out some sanctions and on this thing. It is not left for the BOTs and NEC to kind of how they can merge these two factions together and see their interests and help to achieve those interests. That is it. So it's left for the BOT now to stand up and stand as the BOT they call themselves. Even the ex-president, they should call the ex-presidents, likes of Olusegun Obasanjo, Jonathan. They still have some prominent leaders in their caucus there. They can call these people together and ask them the way forward, and so that they will not be having this issue they are having. I think those people can talk to the two factions and see possible way of settling this crisis.
Well, at the center of this, you talked about former President Obasanjo was at the party, in the actual sense, was at the party in honor of Ayofayoshi and all that. And many of them, they all met at that party. Maybe, I don't know. But then, we'll still address that later. But then, at the center of this whole thing is Nyesom Wike. And we know Nyesom Wike for the past 1 week now has been a trend in the Nigerian politics.
It's always been a trend.
With his...
the past 1 year now, Wike have been in media, he had this media shot almost every month. So he has been like that for some time now. But what happened last 2 weeks is something that people have talked about, so many legalities and how do we say it now? How the forces, two power forces are coming together now.
But let me before we go into the story of this, let me ask your own opinion first. Do you think what transpired last week with Officer Yerima? Do you think Nyesom Wike should have gone that route with Officer Yerima, or should just have addressed it in a more civil way with the ex naval chief who actually bought the land?
Yes, you have gone more civil, and that is why people expected him as a lawyer, as a barrister. You don't act as if you are not a learned person. You are a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so you shouldn't be arguing with somebody that you are more of a senior to. So what you should have done is, okay, this place there's a paper that I brought to the tables that this place should be demolished or something. Okay, okay, I was sent here to defend this place to so that nobody come and bulldozer it. Okay, okay, where is your boss? Your boss is at so place. Can I call him? I can talk to him. I can have his number. You know, all these things can be settled. You know, the ways and manners that you talk to the boy and the lieutenant colonel can give you the direct contact. If you don't have it before, I call him directly before you call the CSO and say, okay, I mean, at this particular land, I was thinking that you've seen our letters. Maybe you have not seen it. Maybe you're out of town. And he say, okay, I've not seen it. I've seen it. Okay, I brought those places. And this place, all these things can be settled out of cameras. You know, that is my own takes about it. I was seeing it as if more civil ways that we can settle this thing. Even though you want to take the land and you know this land is brought wrongly, there's so many ways we can solve it. So far, you've seen somebody that is there already and you know is sent to get that place. You can always call his boss and say, okay, let me have your boss number. This, you know, we came out and say the likes of Obasanjo and all that have called him to talk about their land because maybe they have seen these letters. Or who knows that maybe the general did not see these letters. So let's believe in that because we have not yet from the general's side of the story.
Himself,
so if you have seen the letters and you have served him and you are able to see it, he can call you and say, Mr. Ministers, like the way the light of the former president have called him and say, Mr. Minister, I bought those land for so places, and you can talk it over. So I won't say it's a show of force. I will just say it's a means of communication. How we communicate with people sometimes go a long way. You know, in our own language, we say "Pelena bolako."
There should be the mannerism.
Respect is reciprocal.
Right.
Respect is reciprocal. You don't see people and say, because you are the Lord. Even though you are the Lord, you don't need to say it. You are the Lord. The Lord, when you see silver, the person will know that you are the Lord. You are the owners of Abuja. Everybody know that. No need to pronounce it.
For the meantime.
Exactly.
You are the landlord. You are the owner of the Abuja. Nobody, everyone knows about that. So all you will do is, okay, let me have your boss number. So since you are sent here on an error, let me have your boss number. You can call the same because he later call. You know, he later called. So let me have and call his boss. Good day, sir. Okay, this Minister Wike talking. I saw one of your boys was standing there, you know, and discuss these issues. Okay, sir, maybe you don't. Have you seen our papers? I've found this paper for the past 3 or 4 years. Have you seen it? No, I've not seen it. Yes, I've seen it. They have served me. These are issues that can be discussed. Before you know, this discussion will not take more than 10 minutes. And say that place have been awarded for park, and it's not for residential areas.
And all that, yeah.
All these things can be settled without the cameras and the bullying and the harassment coming up.
All right. Before I touch the story, this current one from the FC, but should they have involved military in a civil matter?
Yeah.
From your perspective, should they have involved the military? Because you said maybe the air chief doesn't know, but if you are to ask my personal opinion,
There are
for him
procedures.
to have put officer
So,
he knew what was actually about to
exactly.
happen. So should they have involved the military in something that was a civil matter?
Instead of involving your lawyer.
Instead of a lawyer.
Yes, that is the normal way to go about it. You know, it should be civil, and we are in a civilian regime whereby we don't need military to dictate the space for us. So the laws of the land supersede any other authorities that intends to governize or stay. You want to weaken the constitutions and the rights of the ministers. But be that as it is, if we have somebody who claims to have been ignorant of the people, I won't say maybe they have been coming, but they have not come there with the minister before. So now they have come with the minister, and the minister have taken seen the site, and he have asked, and he have discovered that okay, this is the wrong property you bought. I want to believe that the civil way also should be in both sides. It should not be confrontation or argument. You should also okay. We have written some letters to your boss. Have you seen it? You say, no, I've not seen it. Okay, let me get his company because I've not been able to talk to him for some times. But I know in my office I've written a lot of letters. Let me use this privilege of having his number and talk to him. I think that will go a long way. If you talk to him, you will have it as a conversation and as a proof that I've called him as a senior citizen of Nigerians. You know, we need to, that's why I say respect is reciprocal. You've called him in terms of, because he's senior citizen of Nigerians, you're able to give him that right to tell him that this place is a park that was meant for. I think the general, there's no how he can forfeit it. It's not as if you cannot forfeit, but when you don't know your own stand, you may feel that maybe somebody want to shoot him, or you may have not getting these 4 stories in the first place. That it was after the minister came out and said that place was meant for park. Maybe the general did not even know that that place is meant for park. So it is when you narrate that place was mapped out for so things, and it is not in your best interest that place will be used for residential areas. So along the line, it's civil. You understand that okay, he's getting it in the wrong places. You know how, as a matter of fact, they can move both the ministers and the general can fight those people that sold the land to them with the help of the ministers to showcase and take that those companies to court.
But then, you know, we still saw some reports that are like speculations that Literature was attacked. I think that was yesterday and all that. But then this one is coming from KAFTAN, who are supposed to be the Conference of Civil Society for Transparency and Accountability. And they actually suggested that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should sack Nyesom Wike over his confrontation with a naval officer in Abuja. In a statement signed by Harun Abdulsalam, KAFTAN's National Director of Communication and Advocacy, on Saturday, the group noted that Wike's altercation with the officer is an embarrassment to the Tinubu administration and the nation. The group said public officials are appointed to promote the image of the administration and not to harass or intimidate others carrying out their constitutional duties. We urgently call on the president to establish a transparent and independent panel to investigate the alleged conversion of hundreds of green areas in the FCT into residential estates, hotels, and shopping plaza. The statement reads, the probe should also examine the suspicious revocation of land allocations, particularly those benefiting family and friends of influential individuals, as well as the sale of public lands earmarked for hospitals and other essential public services to private entities. These lands were usually sold in billions paid in cash with foreign currency. We possess documented evidence of these malpractices, including petitions and records of revoked and land allocations, which demonstrates a disturbing trend of exploiting public resources for personal gains. Now, they said this thing. They said it is imperative that those responsible are held accountable and that the FCT's green spaces and public assets are protected for the benefit of all citizens. Now, here is the thing that they are also talking about. They're talking about the fact that many of these lands, in the actual sense, years back, wasn't supposed to be what's currently the new administration are bringing into the FCT, and lots of revocation of lands are happening, even though Nyesom Wike has his own side of the story. Now, it seems that we're having disparities between, okay, I have this plan for this land before, now there's this new plan for this land, and now the documentations that are supposed to be like, now there's this multiple disparities because we've experienced it. I remember Very Dark Man, you know, still came out recently and talked about this. But let me start from the place of them calling out for Nyesom Wike's sack, saying that his altercation with the officer was a dent to the image of the administration. Do you think the president should consider this?
Is a way the president can call his minister and talk to him that he should not go in that direction. So anyway, the president have that obligation to do that. We have the because he was the one that called them to come and work for him. So we have to have a vision to caution them. So I want to believe that what we've seen is that the first commandment is that the Trumbu can call his minister and talk to them. He can always the president can talk to him and tell him that he should be calm and he should not go into public and do all those stuff that he intends doing. I think that one can be solved. But in terms of sacking him, I want to believe that he can caution him. I want to believe that we can just sack. He's doing a good job, and if somebody is doing a good job, we step on so many toes, and that is what is happening in the federal capital. You know, he's taking time to make sure that the plans of Abuja is being well followed, and there's no how we are going to be seeing some issues like this coming up, but the way that manners he manage and handle such things will go a long way.
All right. So the demand for Wike's sack, should we say it is politically motivated or can be truly justified?
It can be politically motivated because, you know, you have a lot of political enemies. In the PDP, you have a lot of people that are not happy with what he's doing in their parties. That he's not living at the same time, he's working against the interests of the parties. So they are not happy with him. So they can motivate any people from any little crisis to stand against anything that will help him to grow, and that's one of those things. And Mr. President also know that antics will come up, so Mr. President will not easily fall into it because he know that he needs Wike for his 2027 elections, and he wants him to be part of his campaign team. So he will still manage and see how he can resolve this issue.
But for that kind of should I call it a misconduct? Do you feel like there should be a way that we have a disciplinary committee who are actually known for giving like punishments, or disciplinary committee that will just say, okay, this is what you've done, this is the results, this is what we are going to do to you, like more like check and balances in the political system?
The reason why people are saying that Wike should be sacked is because of the image. He carry more of the image of the nation. And it go a long way whereby you see a minister, you know, comforting, arguing with a military personnel. So that is why people are saying that no, they don't want this. But be that it may, the minister have a lot of things to work with. He can call the generals, he can call even the seniors, even he can call the president and say, look, this is an issue that I felt you should look into. So these are things that he can do. And I want to believe that without the cameras, he can go there and say, okay, you are sent here. Okay, I would know how to do, I will call your boss and tell him. And the boss will call the boys to leave the place. I think that should be the best thing. Sort of, most of people say they don't want to go to court because they felt FCT is more of loyalist people that are more loyal to Wike, so they don't want to go to court, and that's why they are using this means to, you know, to show their power also. But we still need the court, whether it's wrong or counterfeit.
Well, it's well actually. I wish we could take more actually on this, but my own problem is just the issue of this, which we're still going to look into majorly, maybe as time goes by, the recent speculations that, because I was seeing reports from certain media houses that Yerima, Lieutenant Yerima, was attacked recently, even by, they even claimed that it was being trailed by unknown men in Abuja. Now, on your final comments, if this be true, do you think this should even ever exist in the actual sense of the Nigerian polity?
You see?
If this being true, do you think it should ever exist in the Nigerian polity?
Well, it is not as if you want to exist or you don't want to exist. It's all about what we intend achieving in all these things. So if we intend achieving a greater countries, a place that we all can call homes, where we are proud of, what we intend looking outside there and say, okay, these are our great nations, and we want to build it together. We need one another to do this, and we don't need to be quarreling or fighting. There's so many places that we can reallocate and direct the direction of peoples, even though we are taking land. There's so many land disputes, and the best thing the government can do is to reallocate those things to other peoples. You know, settle crisis, settle grievances, and these are things that we go a long way to settle more problems. We don't need to fight over when we have so much. We can always give out if the need come that we should give. Just give out so for peace to reign, for unity to come, and so that because internal crisis come up, and when it come up like this, you don't know how it will degenerate
into something
tough, something that we don't. So we should, as a senior citizen of Nigerians, we expected them to find a means of rearranging if the need come. Rearranging, okay, in this place, let's reallocate people to so places since they've got a wrong place, but we still want to use this place. So that the people will not just actually lose. It will be a win-win thing. The citizen will not feel they are being shortchanged and they are not being compensated. You know, people ordinarily they bought a wrong place, and but the government should look into how to at least reallocate these people to a place inside Abuja, so that they can have a comfortable place. Also,
thanks so much. I really appreciate you. We appreciate this discussion with you, but then it's time to actually take sport. And well, with time we'll still keep discussing on multiple things within the country. But for now, I think it's high time we just take it. Thanks so much, sir, for being a part of this discussion.
It was my pleasure to be here.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Well, now let's take sports. And after sports, we come back in Daybreak Africa to say our goodbye. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from that break, and I hope you guys learned one or two things from the guest segment that we had earlier that we discussed about the state of the nation. Honestly, we just pray that at this point in Nigeria, we just pray for breakthrough, because the state of the nation currently is not really encouraging. A lot of issue here and there, a lot of problem here and there with our politicians, our leaders, and all of that.
A lot is just happening, sir. This country, I'm
just pray for a breakthrough.
And do you know what's even annoying me the most in this country? I think this one will make you laugh a bit. Okay. We lost our qualifiers to Congo, and you are seeing politicians like Bolaji Abdullahi.
You know, I didn't mention did you enjoy sports, because I know our people did.
No, that is part of the
I didn't ask you that you enjoy sports.
That angered me. I'm seeing politicians like Bolaji Abdullahi say that for the first time since 1994, Nigeria did not qualify for the World Cup back
for the first time, okay.
And that is that under the APC, Nigeria is declining. Like, sir,
what are you trying to insinuate?
Is it APC that we go and play ball for these people?
What are you trying to insinuate, sir?
You know, insinuate no one. What are we doing in this country?
Everybody's just trying to blame the ruling party.
Like for everything.
For everything.
Now, the Nsomuke that is scattering the PDP on his own front and is shouting and asking a lieutenant colonel whether he's a fool or he's not a fool.
Why are you going there? I thought you are done with that discussion.
We are done with the discussion.
We are done with that discussion.
My bad.
Before they come and ask you to that, are you?
No, in the actual sense, we are all just making comments. Because
exactly.
I think this final part, sometimes you can get few comments from us. But then a lot of things actually happen in this country. Yeah. And we need to really get our hands on a whole lot of things here. But then, as I always say, we always progress in our discussions and all those kind of things. And Daybreak Africa continues tomorrow. We'll be having new discussions tomorrow on Daybreak Africa. Before we get to tomorrow, let's also just remember that once it's 7 a.m., turn on your screens.
Exactly.
In front of you discussing as usual. Until tomorrow, my name will not change. My name still remains Ikhonede.
And my name, Miracle Odunayo. Bye, guys.